1 o'clock right here in Love 101. And indeed, in time for the most provocative, entertaining, educative program done by Kathya Davis. Let's get on with it. Kathya, it's your turn.
All right. Good afternoon. Courtney, are you hearing me? I
I
just
am
want to
hearing
check
you
that you're
quite
hearing
loudly
me.
and clear.
Fantastic, fantastic. Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Today is February 7th. Guys, how, reach, how did we get here? How did we get to February 7th so quickly? Oh my God. But today is February 7th. And as Pastor Courtney said, the world of sports has literally just taken off. This morning, the ICC World T20 um World T20 World Cup kicked off in it's being played in India and Sri Lanka. The West Indies they played this morning. So we'll talk about that. Our Sunshine Girls were in action this week down under. We had some big moves, or we had a big move by a reggae boy, young reggae boy, to the championship. We'll talk about that. Last week we had the Carl Dalhouse invitational meet. We'll look at some of the results from that. Today, happening at the National Stadium is the Youngster Goldsmith track meet. And if you know, this track meet is put on by one of the two track meets of the year put on by Kingston College. So this is the first, and the second will be the Gibson Relays. So if you don't have anything to do with your afternoon, you can make your way down after you've listened to me. You can make your way down to the to the National Stadium where the Youngster Goldsmith swim meet is happening. And then, of course, the Jamaica Premier League is still on. The English Premier League is still on. And there are just so many things happening. And I'm so happy. You know, I get excited when I can talk about the various sports. The NBA is still going on. Tomorrow. People. For all those who only care about the NFL, the one time per year that Jamaicans really pay attention to the NFL is going to be tomorrow, as tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day. And I'll just, talk a few things about, that later down in the show. So you want to stick and stay right here on the family station 101.13579 and stay with me until 2 o'clock. And this is Sports Talk, and this is gonna be so interesting. If you're interested in sports, want to learn about sports, or you just want to hear my voice, well. It's until 2 o'clock. It's until 2 o'clock. But yeah. So of course, as usual, we dive things into football. Of course, as well, or under 17, Reggae Boys under 17 team, they're also participating in our playoff, CONCACAF um under 17 playoff as well. So it's just a lot. But well, let's get into it because we have a lot of ground to cover and we only have an hour to talk about this. So let's get started. All right, let's get started first. So let's talk now about what's happening in the English Premier League. And I know some people, the Arsenal supporters are holding strong. Some people I know, after they got up to watch West Indies this morning, got up to also they stayed up to watch a particular side. They were red in the Manchester region. Guys, don't come for me. No, please don't come for me. The Manchester United fans, please don't come for me. Thank you for not coming for me. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go to some of the results from last week, as we always do. The results I didn't get to give you from last week. I give you those results, and then I will give you some additional results. Come, the results from this morning. All right. So last week would have been the 31st. So we start on the first. So we'll go with those results, right? So on Sunday, Chris, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest rather, they played to a 1-all draw. Brentford, they beat Aston Villa 1-love. And as we know, I think I said it last week, Leon Bailey has returned to Aston Villa from AS Roma. All right. Manchester United, they were 3-2 winners over Fulham last week. Tottenham and Manchester City, they played to a 2-all draw. And that was very interesting because, um, well, Manchester City, trying to keep up with Arsenal, but Manchester City also kind of fumbling the ball at this point. Don't know why, but we pray for them. And Sunderland, they were 3-love winners over Burnley. All right, coming into this week's results. So yesterday, Leeds would have played Nottingham Forest, which they defeated them by 3 goals to 1. Manchester United, early o'clock this morning, they were 2-love winners over Tottenham, who they ended that game with 10 men. West Ham, they were 2-love winners over Burnley. Everton were 2-1 winners over Fulham. Bournemouth and Aston Villa played to a 1-all draw. And Chelsea defeated Wolves 3-1. Woo woo, go Chelsea. Arsenal still continuing marching onward. The Gunners, they defeated Sunderland 3 goals to 0. And after 36 minutes, it is Newcastle 1, Brentford 0. Games to come tomorrow. Brighton, they will play Crystal Palace. And of course, I think the match of this round, which is now round match week number 25 or round number 25, will be Liverpool versus Manchester City. All right, so let's now get to where we are as it relates to the overall standings now in the English Premier League. Arsenal still atop the standing, marching their way onwards. The Gunners, they've having now played 25 games. They're on 56 points. Manchester City, they're in second on 47 points. They have a game in hand. Aston Villa, which they will play tomorrow. Aston Villa, they're in third on 47 points. Manchester United, they're in fourth on 44 points. One ahead of Chelsea, who are in fifth on 43 points. And then let's just round out the top 10. Liverpool, they're in sixth on 39 points. Brentford, they're in seventh on 37, same as Everton in eighth on 37. However, Brentford having a better goal difference of 9. Sunderland, they're in ninth on 36 points, and Newcastle, they're in 10th on 34 points. All right, let's go now to what's going on at the bottom of the table. West Ham, they're in 13th place, or rather 18th place, on 23 points. So they're 3 points away from what is called safety, which would be 17th place. And 17th place is currently being occupied by Nottingham Forest. So West Ham, they're in that 18th place, which you don't want to be, on 23 points. Behind them is Burnley on 15 points. And at the very, 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 very bottom of the table is Wolves on 8 points. And last week I said that the fat lady was moving towards the mine. I can say, or I believe now, for Wolves especially, I think the fat lady is starting to hum for them. Hum for them, which means, when she starts to sing, that's just it for them. But I will keep you posted on what is going on in the English Premier League. Now, before we go to what's going on in the Jamaica Premier League, we had a particular move by a particular player this week. So Dujon Whisper Richards made the move on loan to Leicester City. Leicester City currently in the championship, which is the one just below where the English Premier League is. Made the move on loan to Leicester City for the rest of the season. Now, for me, I think it's a very good move for Whisper, as he was playing in the Chelsea under 21 team, right? And when I looked at the Chelsea side, being a Chelsea supporter myself, I just did not see how it is that he was going to get first team playing time um, at Chelsea. And I've heard some of the comments. I've heard some of the comments since week. I think a lot of persons think that this is a very, very, very good move. He will, yes, move to the championship. Um, but it wouldn't be a strange place for him, as Bobby D. Cardova Reed, another Reggae Boys representative, also plays for Leicester City. And so he has some sort of company. He has somewhat of a big brother in Bobby Reed to kind of show him the ropes of Leicester City. So I think him making that move to that championship will give him enough time to make a good impact, and that way I think maybe he can be picked up by a club in the what you call it, in the Premier League for next season. I think it's a good move for the rest of the season, and I'm praying that he stays well and that he performs best so that he can attract another club, and maybe Chelsea will sell him, because I mean I really don't see, I in the future right now I don't see Whisper making the Chelsea first team, not based on what the Chelsea setup is. And there are so many players, and Chelsea keeps on buying players, and especially buying players to play that number 9 position. So it's kind of Mm, it kind of it's kind of interesting to see. But as I said, Whisper has moved um to to Leicester City. Leicester City also kind of found themselves in a bit of a problem this week. They were deducted 6 points in the championship, so they found themselves in a little, I'd say, just a little sort of problem there in terms of um the them now being deducted 6 points. And what does that mean? So they are fighting now to stay in the championship, and they unfortunately they're currently in 20th place in the championship. Let me just tell you exactly what's going on with Leicester City now that we are there. They're currently in 21st place in the championship and looking to stay atop. Of course, the just like the English Premier League, the bottom 3 teams in the championship, they will then go down to the next level, which is almost like the C of that. So we'll see what will happen to them, and we will keep you posted as it relates to Whisper. Of course, unfortunately, in the game today that Leicester City played, Bobby D. Cardova Reed, he was shown a red card. So, not a good day, not a good day, not a good day, not a good day, not a good day. Um, of course, Whisper, yes, he did come on. I was just making sure that he did. So he came on today for Leicester in the 77th minute. So it's good to see him now in the first team and also getting minutes. And I'm hoping that as he goes, he will get more minutes. He'll probably find himself in the starting 11, and his impact as he's at Leicester is would be great. As I said, I don't think Leicester is the end goal, but it's a good loan move for him to make a transition to a bigger team. And if he makes the good mark for the rest of the season with Leicester, and especially if Leicester stays up in the championship, then I think that would be good for him. And I think, other clubs, maybe not in the English Premier League, but other clubs within Europe will find him attractive and possibly will take him into their first team. And then maybe Chelsea will bring him back and put him in the first team, even though I really, really don't see, especially as a Chelsea fan, I really, really don't see that happening. But anything is possible. People can get injured. There are lots of things that can happen. And we've seen Chelsea send out players on loans to championship teams, to different European teams, and something happens and Chelsea has to bring back that player. So we'll see what will happen there. All right. I think we're up on our first break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, though, we'll be heading just a little into what's going on in the in the Jamaica Premier League. So we will be right back right here on Sports Talk on the family station, Love 101 FM.
All right. We're going to do a roll call.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythm. Hot, hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM, grow your mind. Jim, get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving all their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Faves at 5. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with your love jock, your boy, DJ Rebirth. It's all here on the family station, Love 101.
Youth Connection. Shubopti and them figured him provide everything on vibe. People we chat. Shubopti and them figured him alone make we appear when we did chat. Hey, hey.
It's time to move inside alive.
This Make Me Move Monday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One.
And me, Darren Mitchell, the creative Jesus guy.
Get a cerebral workout with the brain testing exercise at 1:45.
Get those mental muscles moving.
Hungry for divine intervention?
At 2 o'clock, break your fast with
Prayer Blast. Join us for Body Talk at 2:15 for another informative program about your health.
Then at 3 p.m., we bring you Soul Talk.
Your safe space to share your truth with Pastor Philip Johnson.
At 4:30, stick and stay for more fun coming your way.
As Auntie Vashti wraps things up with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive 1 to 5. This Make Me Move Monday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One.
And Darren Mitchell, the creative Jesus guy.
Only on the family station, Love 101.
Come alive. God not dead, my youth, him alive. Visions and dreaming, come alive. Okay. Where are the campus eyes?
February is the month of love. However, when love turns toxic and spills into the digital space, it can quickly become abuse, harassment, or cyber stalking. On the next Campus Connection, we shine a spotlight on Cyber Love Gone Bad, Part 2. Join us as Detective Corporal Andre Murray from the Forensic Services Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, alongside Sherian Grant, UCCF Student Advisor, and Kenneth Roy Clark, UWI UCCF Vice President. Unpack how young people can respond when a former partner uses social media, messaging apps, or public forums to intimidate, shame, or damage reputations. And don't miss our Honor Roll segment with Miss Sandra Rowe, retired educator who served in various capacities for over 37 years at Tatius Golding High School. Campus Connection is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security and Peace, Jamaica's partner in advancing progress and building peace. Tune in on Tuesday, February 10 at 5:30 p.m. on Love 101, the family station, celebrating 33 years shining the light of Christ to the world.
From campus, come on, let me walk one. Campus Connection, take another one down, down. Hey, I walk one from campus.
We now return you to Lady Kathya. On seems to be referring to everything that has something to do with Kingston College. We're Gunners for Life fans, you know, that's what I'm saying. And then Dejan Vispas and Richard Sai. Just so great. And Mr. Goldsmith was a good friend of mine while I was at Kingston College. The youngster Goldsmith meet going on. Kathya, take it away.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Courtney. Boy, I don't know. The gun, I just cannot get away from the Gunners fan. I just like to not right now, okay? Especially because I support the side, the blue side of London. Right, right. All right. Before we go into the Jamaica Premier League, I'd like to tell you know or give you an update as it relates to the Reggae Boys, some of the Reggae Boys that would have changed clubs, whether they're on loan, etc., etc. So I did mention Dejan Whisper Richards. He's loan move from Chelsea to Leicester City. Karoy Anderson, he is on a loan move from EFL one team Blackpool. And there is Jonathan Russell, who is now on loan to Mansfield Town. Then there's Karoy Anderson, or Casey Palmer, who is on loan to Luton Town. Then Mason Holgate, he's on loan to Al Salia, which is in the Qatar Starts League. Bailey Kadamatari or Terry joins Wrexham. Norman Campbell, he joins a Japanese club. And of course, as I said before the break, Leon Bailey, he got recalled from loan from AS Roma back to Aston Villa. And Kahim Dixon, he was recalled from his loan. I think he went to Crawley from Charlton Athletic. He's now back at Charlton Athletic. So that's what's really going on for our Reggae Boys. All right, let's now go into what's going on now in the Jamaica Premier League. So I'll give you the results from the Jamaica Premier League, and then we'll update you the point standings, all of that wonderfulness. All right, let's go back now to some of the results from last week. Racing United, they would have defeated Spanish Town Police by 3-1. Harborview and Tivoli Gardens, they would have played to a 2-2 draw. I think that would have been the first game in charge by Lenworth Hyde or Lenny Teacher Hyde, the new coach at Harborview, trying to stave off relegation in the Jamaica Premier League. Montego Bay United, they were 3-0 winners over Malines United. Mount Pleasant, they were 2-0 winners over Chapelton Maroons. And Portmore defeated Cavalier 1-0. And then in the week, Spanish Town Police, they defeated Dumbeholden 2-1. And Mount Pleasant, they defeated Cavalier 1-0. And that's Mount Pleasant playing a match from a game that they missed in round 17, and in round 21, Arnett Gardens and Dumbeholden, they defeated, that was Monday Night Football. Arnett Gardens, they defeated Dumbeholden 1-0. Now, a lot of the games, especially in the week games, those games are played as the games that would not have been played when the round was going on. For example, because Mount Pleasant was taking part in the Caribbean Cup, some of the games they would have missed, and some of those games now are being played in the week. And so sometimes you will hear a teams being called more than once within the space of the same week or the reporting week. That's just because they're just trying to get everybody up to speed with the games. Of course, we know Mount Pleasant will be taking part in the Conca Cup, so they are going to be missing additional games. So it's just a lot for the organizers, match competitions persons to keep a track of. Right. So let's now look ahead now to the games coming up this week. Tivoli Gardens, they will play Arnett Gardens, and that will be tomorrow. 3:00 kickoff time for the following games, and all of them start at 3. Racing will play Mobay United. Harborview, they play Portmore United. Dumbeholden plays Waterhouse. Malines plays Chapelton Maroons. And on Monday, Cavalier will play Spanish Town Police. Later down in the week, Mount Pleasant will play Treasure Beach, and Chapelton Maroons will play Malines United. And later down in the week, Dumbeholden will play Arnett Gardens. And then next week now we'll give you the updated standings. But let's look at the standings now. As I said, most teams, some teams still have some games in hand. I think Mount Pleasant still, they have roundabout, still have 4 games in hand. But let's look at where the point standing are as is. So Montego Bay, they currently lead the point standings on 45 points, having played 21 games. Racing, they're in second, played the same number of games, 21. They're on 38 points. Mount Pleasant, having played 18 games so far, they're on 36 points. Portmore United, they're in fourth on 36 points, having played 21 games. Waterhouse, having played 22 games, they occupy the fifth spot on 30 points. Tivoli Gardens, they're having played 21 games, they occupy the sixth spot. Of course, in the Jamaica Premier League, you know, the top 6 teams will advance to the playoffs. All right, moving now to the bottom of the table. Again, the bottom 2 teams in the Jamaica Premier League, they will be relegated, and then 2 teams will come up. All right, so currently occupying that 13th spot is Harborview, having played 19 games. They are now at 16 points, 4 points away from safety. The next team above them is in 12th, Treasure Beach, on 20 points. Then at the bottom of the table, occupying the spot there for a little while now, is Spanish Town Police, having played 21 games. They've currently 12 points, which means that they're currently 8 points adrift from safety. So still very important. A lot of games to come. Spanish Town Police would have brought in, I think they would have brought in a retired, nothing, but brought in a retired player. Which I think is Woolry Wolf. Yes, they brought in Woolry Wolf, which I don't know what impact that will have for their team, but they have brought him in for, I guess, some sort of trying to get some good things happening for their team. And there was some movement still in the Jamaica Premier League as well this week. Well, there were movements from Treasure Beach. So there is Jamaro Hall. He was transferred to Rena FC from Treasure Beach on a permanent transfer. Rena FC, they're currently in the JFF tier competition. Tier championship. And if you know anything about the tier championship, that is the one right next to the Jamaica Premier League. So, all right. Next movement happening now. Tivoli Gardens have acquired 21-year-old Shaquille Henry, and he is on a permanent deal for the remainder of this season. Then at Dumby Holding, they have acquired 22-year-old attacker Janelle Ray from Harborview. So persons are still being transferred. And then Duncan's United FC, they're in the JFF Tier 2 Championship. They have acquired 21-year-old defender Devontae Hodges from Harborview on loan. Then Keanu Reed has transferred from Cavalier to Mount Pleasant. Keanu Reed, former player for Ocho Rios High. He's on loan for the rest of the season from Cavalier to Mount Pleasant. Then there is the Surinamese international defender, 23-year-old, who has left Cavalier and joined the Surinamese Major League. So he has moved out from the Jamaica Premier League, joining or rejoining the Surinamese League. So that's what's really going on for the Jamaica Premier League. I think the transfer window is now officially closed. In terms of transferring between clubs, of course, players are still able to make moves if they're not transferring within the what do we call it, championship. I do believe that is possible. But yeah, it's like that we take our second break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, we're gonna be seeing what our under 17 Reggae Boys are up to. Stay with us. We'll be right back right here on Sports Talk on the family station, Love 101 FM.
It's now 1:30 inside of Love 101. And indeed, we're celebrating 33 years as a station. Let's pay some bills.
Are you interested in buying land or property? Here are the steps you should follow. Step 1. Find out who is legally authorized to sell the property. Step 2. Ensure all property tax payments are up to date. Step 3. Consult an attorney at law who will guide you through the process and protect your interests. You can also use eLand Jamaica to check on matters pertaining to your property purchase. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us on WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
Reggae Month rolls into the grill Sunday, February 8th with the Young Reggae Gospel Ambassadors Concert starting at 5 p.m. It will be an evening of praise and worship at Waves Beach The Grill, led by gospel sensation Rhoda Isabella, alongside several young gospel ambassadors. Sunday, February 8th, another Reggae Month 2026 event. Admission is free.
All right. We're going to do a roll call.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythm. Hot, hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM, grow your mind. Jim, get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving all their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Faves at 5. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with your love jock, your boy, DJ Rebirth. It's all here on the family station, Love 101.
Youth Connection. Shubopti and them figured he provide everything on vibe people we chat. Shubopti and them figured him alone make we happy when we did chat. Hey, hey.
We now return you to Kathya Davis. It's sports talk time. I heard her mention the return out of retirement. Woolery Wolf, now 44 years. I remember those days when he was younger. He has a very good kick. If he's anything like Roger Miller from Cameroons and the World Cup time. Let's see what he will do. Kathya.
Yes, Courtney, let's see what he will do for real. Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. And just want to give you now some updates as it relates to our under 17 reggae boys. And they are currently, I want to tell you exactly what they're participating in because I don't want to tell you. So it's the final round of the, let me just get this. All right. Yeah. CONCACAF under 17 qualifiers. So our reggae boys, young reggae boys, they started fantastic yesterday in this particular CONCACAF qualifiers. They defeated Aruba 3-0 yesterday, or young under 17 reggae boys. Kelvin Brown. If you would have followed the schoolboy season, you'd have known that Kelvin Brown plays Manning Cup for Kingston College. Kelvin Brown scored in the 45th plus 5 minutes. So, 5 minutes added time. Justin Hales, he scored in the 82nd minute, and Jamari Nolan scored in the 93rd minute. And so our young reggae boys are off to a fantastic start in the under 17 qualifiers. Their next game will be tomorrow against the Cayman Islands, and then they will close out action against Canada on February 11th. So great start by our young reggae boys, and let me tell you, the goalkeeper, don't remember his name now, made a fantastic save yesterday. I mean, the goal from Kelvin Brown was very good, but the goalkeeper for me yesterday was a standout in my mind. It wasn't yesterday, but the day that we played. No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday, right? It was yesterday. I'm getting my days confused, people. But yeah, yesterday the goalkeeper, he was just outstanding, pretty outstanding young man. So looking forward to more great results by our under 17 reggae boys. Also happening, what would have happened last week was our under 17 reggae girls would have also been in action, as they would look to qualify, or they are looking to qualify for the under 17 Women's World Cup in Morocco. And the final round will take place from March 17 to 22. And of course, the draw for that will take place on February 18. Now, our under 17 ladies will look to try to finish in the top 4, as those will automatically qualify for those teams from the CONCACAF region will automatically qualify for the under 17 Women's World Cup in in Morocco. So we look to keep you posted on our young under 17 team. And just telling you, in terms of, is that all for football right now? I think there is. That's all for football right now. Just making sure that I'm still touching base. And of course, the Pepsi and course competition, those are still happening on the 16, on the 14. I know quite a number of teams are in action in that competition, and I know like Hillel, I think, has entered both on the 14 and on the 16, and I think they had a victory recently. So I love to see, especially when the private schools get involved in the secondary competition. Because most of them, they do play for like KFA and other clubs. So it's good to see when the schools decide to enter. Specifically, now speaking about Hillel Academy here. But yeah, it was good to see them in action. This week. All right. We're skipping over sports. Or no, we switch our attention now to netball, I was about to say young sunshine girls, but I don't know if anybody on the team is that young. But our sunshine girls, they were in action 2 mornings ago, I think. Yes. Two mornings ago they were in, and when I say morning, I really mean it was 3:30 a.m. My God. The sunshine girls, they were in action, and they are currently participating in a series down under. Just in case you don't know where down under is, that's in Australia. They would have lost, unfortunately, the first match in the series. Australia 72. I was gonna say reggae girls, but they're sunshine girls. Sunshine girls 41. I think having watched the game and having gotten a chance to sit down and do a little bit of analysis of the game, did we improve from the England series? certainly we have improved from the England series, but we also have some of our better quality players there in Australia. I mean, Jodian Ward is in the squad, as well as I just want to say, tell you who else is in the squad. Stanice Beckford is currently captain in the squad. Khadijah Williams, Roxana McLean, Kimon Shaw, Katie and Dewaney, Latanya Wilson, Crystal Plummer, Abigail Sutherland, Nicole Dixon Rochester, Simone Gordon, Giselle Allison, and Kestina Sturridge. Of course, the head coach is Shasha Gay Henry Wright, with the interim assistant coach Kerry Ann Brown, performance analysis Kyle Hendricks, physio Nicole Reed, doctor Michelle Holt, and team manager Lydia Wilkes. And some of our players that are in the Australia, Latania, Kadian, would have joined the team and made good impact. Think we played good up to the first half. After the first half, going into the third, fourth quarters, we definitely have to work on our fitness. We really we got very sloppy in the mid court. As I continue to say, we are able to produce shooters, but I don't know. We need and defenders, but if we cannot dominate, control the mid court, we are going to not ever beat the teams of Australia or New Zealand or England or right now even South Africa and Malawi, who has drastically improved their game as well. And if we're not careful, based on how we play in this series, I mean the England the 2-game series in England was just awful. But if we're not careful after this series, we might find ourselves slipping from number 3 to number 5 in the world ranking. And world ranking is very important, but outside of that, we definitely have to do something regarding our fitness. You can see, I mean, only be able to keep up 2 quarters is just bad. And there were good plays in parts, and I'm really hoping that we can bring it together. So the next game is tomorrow morning. For those who are asking, you can find out where you can watch the game. It's been brought on local television. The game starts at 3:30 a.m. So the next game is 3:30, and there is also delayed broadcast and a rebroadcast as well happening. So you can always watch. And then the final game in the series will come on Wednesday morning at same time at 3:30. And so hopefully next week we'll be able to have a fulsome review of this series. One of my hopes also coming from this series is that some of the Australian scouts will get a chance to see some of our girls and hopefully be able to attract them to come and play in the ANZ League. So I'm hoping that will happen for some of our girls. But we definitely have to fix our mid-court issues or fitness issues and just being clumsy with the ball. I don't know. It's something that was very prominent in the England series. I was hoping that coming home and getting some time to practice together would have fixed some of those issues. Unfortunately, not. So yeah, it will be interesting. I'm hoping that they're able to pull back at least one victory in this series. As if they don't, then as I said, the implications of what the world rankings will go to or what the world rankings will look like, and we don't really want to be entering at number 5. I mean, we've worked very hard to move from 4 to 3, and I think we should be looking to go up rather than falling in the world ranking. But what to do? We got to put in the work. We got to establish the right competitions. We'll have to look at succession and how it is that we move our girls from playing local to even moving them maybe to England, playing in other leagues, maybe developing a better elite league. I don't know. We got to do something. We got to do something. We got to find the right investors, and we got to do what is best um, for the girls and for the sport. But with that, we'll take our final break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, we've got lots more to talk about. We'll be right back.
It's now 1:45 inside the studios of Love 101 FM. You're listening to the program Sports Talk with Kathya Davis. Let's pay some more bills.
Hey, my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. The least you ever test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late, so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Real long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Real long life, our story. Real long life was a youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Worship and Faith International Fellowship Wafif presents International Death Burning and Financial Empowerment. Sunday, February 8th, join us at 6 p.m. at 55A Old Harbor Road, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Take along copies of your debts to be birthed and 10 things you're believing God for. Those will be prayed over and lifted up before the Lord.
There's a fire blazing outside.
It's time to move inside Alive.
This Make Me Move Monday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One.
And me, Darren Mitchell, the Creative Jesus Guy.
Get a cerebral workout with the brain testing mental size at 145.
Get those mental muscles moving.
Hungry for divine intervention?
At 2 o'clock, break your fast with
Prayer Blast. Join us for Body Talk at 2:15 for another informative program about your health.
Then at 3 p.m., we bring you Soul Talk.
Your safe space to share your truth with Pastor Philip Johnson.
At 4:30, stick and stay for more fun coming your way.
As Auntie Vashti wraps things up with the Small People Show. All this and more will come alive 1 to 5. This Make Me Move Monday with me, Sarah and the Chirpy One.
And Darren Mitchell, the Creative Jesus Guy.
Only on the family station, Love 101.
Come alive. God, not dead, my youth, him alive. Visions and dreaming, come alive.
We now return to our final segment of Sports Talk with Lady Kathya. Hey, Lady Kathya, after I greet you, our under 17 boys, reggae boys, the goalkeeper was classic. I didn't get his name, but he made some saves. And Sir Brown, who scored that scorcher of a goal. Our final match against Canada will determine who moves forward.
Yeah. Definitely. Pastor Courtney, I know you follow your sports, That's why I love when yourself or Kareem is in studio because makes for great conversation. So love that you're following what's going on.
I was happy. Hey, the fret when the meal play Honduras, But when that one went in and it ended 1-0, I say yes.
Yes, definitely. They did very well as well. So I'm very proud of both teams and looking to see if our girls will be able to qualify for the under 17 World Cup in Morocco. And of course our boys moving on. So, and I think this under 17 team, both boys and girls, if we keep them and keep them on track, they will be future beaters. I tell you, this team it's just full of talent, and they're so young, full of talent. But we'll have to develop the talent, and we'll have to put in the proper infrastructure to ensure that the talent remains within the pool, and that we are checking in and wouldn't just leave the players to just wander away like that. Very important. But yeah.
Indeed. Agreed.
All right, so we're back in our final segment right here on Sports Talk Family Station. Tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, big big day happening. If you are under a rock and you do not follow the sport any at all, tomorrow is the Super Bowl. And for those who don't know what the Super Bowl is, it is the finals for the National Football League in the USA, NFL. You know, you hear people talk about NFL. Yeah, man. Tomorrow is the big day for the NFL. Tomorrow is the big day for the NFL. And of course, it will be the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Of course, we know New England Patriots would have been a very, very dominant team during the time of one Tom Brady. If you don't hear nothing, you must have heard about Tom Brady. Come on, man, people. Stay with me. Stay with me. So the game is kicking off tomorrow at 6:30. And this will happen at the Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Right. NFL going on, Super Bowl going on. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the teams. So the Seahawks, they would have finished the regular season with a 14-3, and they earned the top spot or being the top seed out of the NFC behind one of the league's most complete teams, the Seattle's defense. Rather, they were an elite league all year, and I don't really watch teams outside of the team that I cheer for. But when I realized that my team, yes, Kathya, who is your team? Kansas City Chiefs. KC, you guys realize that there's a pattern there. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Just yeah. Let me have it. Thank you. They allowed the Seattle Seahawks allowed the fewest points per game in the NFL for this season, and they carried that dominance into the postseasons. So if we talk about the strength now of the Seattle Seahawks, they have a stifling defense, they have a balanced offense, and they have clutch post-season play. And we'll talk about, right now they're averaging 28.4 points per game. And of course, their quarterback, Sam Darnold, he has posted over 4,000 yards in passing with a 67.7 completion rate in the regular season. Seattle, they're favored in this game with about a 4.5 point favorite. And most of the experts are predicting that the Seattle Seahawks they will win. This this Super Bowl, which is Super Bowl, you guys know I'm not really good at these numbers, but according to what I know, this should be 49. These Roman numerals, I don't know why them just don't put it in a regular numbers that people can read them. Right. So anyways, don't mind me. According to what I know, it should be 49, but I could be wrong because I could be reading it wrong. Anyways, this marks their fourth Super Bowl appearance in Seahawks history and their first since 2014. So this is now 12 years since we've seen the Seahawks in the Super Bowl final. A victory will be their second Lombardi trophy. That's what the Super Bowl trophy is called. And it would, maybe I was wrong for true. It would erase their heartbreaks of loss to the Patriots in that Super Bowl 49. So I stand corrected. All right, let's go now to the New England Patriots very quickly. The Patriots are on what we will call the NFL's biggest stage after a stunning turnaround. Last year, they ended their season 4 wins to 13 losses. And their coach Coach Mike, he just this is not going to work. And so they were fantastically able to turn around that for the season, having now ended the season with 14 wins and 3 losses, and of course ended up with the AFC crown. All right, so let's talk a little bit now about their breakout leader, which is, for those of us who follow NFL, Drake May rather. He emerged as one of the league's best, finishing with elite numbers and leading the Patriots in efficient offense. Now, in the defense, the New England's unit they have been physical. They're very opportunistic. They're capable of changing the momentum in any moment. And if they win, they would claim their seventh Super Bowl title, tying them with the Steelers for the most in the NFL history. All right, let's now look at what the odds say. As I said, right now it's really saying that the Seahawks are going to win. Um, and experts have leaned to the Seahawks because of their defense and experience in the big games. But the Patriots' remarkable improvement and road resilience made them, it's not going to be a walkover. And I think maybe could be one of the closest NFL Super Bowl games we have in history. All right, let's now, with a few more minutes now, talk about the Seahawks defense versus the Patriots offense. Now, the Seahawks defense ranks at the top of the league and thrives on pressure and turnovers, and look to distance them. They look to dictate the tempo and force the New England Patriots into long third downs. And if you know, in NFL, we have first down, second down, third down, fourth down. Y'all know how to go. All right, let's talk about now quickly about the quarterbacks duel. That's Sam Darnold's journey back to the Super Bowl. Um, you know, and Drake Mays, he's young. He's gives good playmaking ability. So we are gonna see how it is that both Drake May and Sam Darnold, because really and truly in NFL, yeah, that's just pretty much it. Your quarterback has to be quarterbacking for your, and yes, that's my word. But yes, the quarterback has to be playing well for you to for you to be for your team rather to play very well. Very important. Every defense, offense, but if your quarterback is having a off day, it will be very, very difficult.
And what she has shared well so far. So we just going to be closing
Pastor
out.
Courtney, are you hearing me?
We are hearing you now. You had
Okay.
left us for about a minute.
Okay, great. Can you tell me the last thing you heard me say as I close the show?
I think you were on the fact of the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I had to go outside to see if it was my headphone because I was trying to talk with you and
Oh
listen.
no, that's no problem. All right. So as I said, though, this is a rematch in terms of the 2015, yes, NFL championships. And the Patriots, they won that game 28-24. Mind you, the Seahawks, their average score has been 28.4. So let's see how that matchup will work. But as I said, if you don't watch any other game in the NFL for the entire season, tomorrow is the game to watch. Tomorrow is the game to watch. So wherever you can, watch the NFL so we can talk about it next week. As I said, the Youngster Goldsmith Classic happening at the National Stadium. So we'll try to see if we can give you some results from that next week, as well as the myriad of sports happening across. Basketball is still going on. We're getting closer to getting to those NBA playoffs. So interesting time ahead. All right. So this has been a fantastic show right here on Sports Talk on the Family Station Love 101 FM. Continue to stay tuned to the station, of course. Rejoin me next week, Saturday, for another informative and interesting show right here on the Family Station, Love 101. I'm handing you back now to Pastor Courtney in the Gospel Train. Have a great, fantastic Saturday.
You do the same too, Lady Kathya. Seattle Seahawks for my pick. No New England Patriots.